All right. Good evening, City of Stonecrest, the residents, and everyone in the City of Stonecrest. Thank you for coming out to our first public hearing for the Special Administrative Permit, which is an acronym for SAP. Today's date is October 4th, 2023, and we are the Planning and Zoning Department. So before we get into the purpose and intent of this meeting, I would like to do a brief introduction on staff that you see before you. I am Trey John Singletary, the Senior Planner within the Planning and Zoning Department. I have to my right, Ms. Kobe Brown, who is our Planning Tech. And last but not least, our Deputy Director, Matthew Williams. All right, so the purpose and intent of this public meeting, which is the SAP Special Administrative Permit, it was initiated by the state of Georgia and is effective as of July 1st, 2023. Public hearing is required for all special administrative requests. The occurrence for the public hearing is every third Tuesday of each month. Because this was already advertised, this is why we have it today on Wednesday, October 4th. But moving forward, this public hearing will be on every third Tuesday of each month at 3:30 in this exact same room. And we request for special events. If you are, for anyone here at the city or anyone watching, please, if you are planning on doing a special event, please, we encourage everyone to start the planning process 60 days prior to their proposed date. So what's being presented on the screen is a brief flow of what the special administrative permit process looks like. So as you see here, it starts with the pre-application meeting. And then after the pre-application meeting, the applicant will know what to submit in the Citizen Serve online portal. After that, if the applicant is proposing to hold a special event, that's when staff will schedule that review meeting, which is 2 weeks prior to the public hearing date. After that, the public hearing is held. And last but not least, staff will issue that approval or denial for the applicant. And as stated, it was effective as of July 1st, 2023. And this process is for special events, home occupation type 1, and SES, which is the acronym for Solar Energy System. So here is more in depth of what that, if someone wants to do a special event, this is the more in-depth process flow of things. So again, as stated, it starts with the pre-application meeting. Once the pre-application meeting is held, then that's when the applicant will know what to submit via the portal. Once the applicant submits everything via the portal by the deadline, staff will review all of the requirement documents and make sure that the applicant has successfully submitted all the required documents. If the applicant for special events, if the applicant is proposing to hold the event on a city-owned park, that's when planning and zoning staff will inform the Parks and Rec staff, and we will start that collaboration at that time, as well as with Stonecrest Parks and Recs, DeKalb County Fire Marshal, DeKalb County Police, and DeKalb County Board of Health. So please keep in mind to be respectful to applicants, citizens, and staff. Keep questions, comments, and/or concerns relevant to the agenda item. If you have any questions that's not being covered tonight, staff will be available to answer those questions as the meeting concludes. And each side, opposition and approval, has 10 minutes to make their comments. So that leads us into our first petition for tonight, which is case number SA23-030. The address is 6409 Phillips Creek Drive. The applicant, Anika Kelly of Wellness Home Health, LLC, and the applicant is seeking a special administrative permit to use office space and home to operate their home health care business as a type 1 home occupation. So here is the letter of intent that was submitted by the applicant. Here is the future land use, or as some may know as character area within the comprehensive plan for the city, and the star marks the location. And as stated here, it is SN, which is an acronym for suburban neighborhood. The zoning for this particular location is RSM, which is an acronym for small lots residential mix. And as stated before, star marks the location. Here is the submitted floor layout that was submitted by the applicant. Here are the regulations that the applicant must abide by in section 4.2.31, which is entitled Home Occupations and Private Educational Uses. And the applicant is aware of all of these regulations they have to abide by. All right, so with that being stated, we will move into opening up the public hearing, the public comments portion of this meeting. Before we open it up and bring the applicant up, I have to read the disclaimer. Citizen wishing to participate and comment during the public hearing portion of the meeting may comment in person. You may also submit your request, including your full name, address, position of the agenda item you are coming on for or against via email to planning-zoning@stonecrestga.gov by 2 p.m. the day of the public hearing to read into the record at the meeting. When it is your turn to speak, please state your name, address, and relationship to the case. There is 10 minutes time limit for each item per side during all public hearings. Only the applicant may reserve time for rebuttal. So with that being said, I would, like I said, move to open up the public hearing. Ms. Anika Kelly, are you here? Come on up to the podium, please. And just state your name and address for the record, and make sure that the green light is on before you start speaking. Is it? Yes.
My name is Anika Kelly Kabor, and I am opening Wellness Home Health for a home-based business to obtain patient documents, enroll patients, not patients, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about work, enroll clients for home-based services, a consultant, and I will just see them virtually, initially in their home, and then virtually. No clients will be at my home. It's just my office space to obtain the virtual visits and documentation.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Kelly.
Thank you.
Are there anyone that's want to speak for the opposition, for the petition? Oh, you opposed? I'm sorry. It's okay. Is there anyone that wants to speak for the petition? All right. Anyone that wants to speak in opposition? Come on up to the podium. Please state your first and last name and the address for the record.
My name is Sharon Crossley. I live at 6475 East Briar Drive. I'm opposed to any business in our residence. We at our East Briar Drive have been traumatized from October to the Wednesday of Christmas. We're allowing these people to come in our neighborhood, bringing the wrong element. Every house on our street had bullet holes in it. We do not want any, we're really opposed to renters, but what you gonna do about renters? But we are opposed to any business type, anything like that in our neighborhood because we have been traumatized. I am a homeowner. Most of the people in our subdivision, we own our homes. We are trying to retire. We want peace in our neighborhood. We have been traumatized from break-ins to people just driving fast. It's just, we have just been traumatized. Every house over there has a bullet hole in it because you're allowing businesses to come in as quote unquote, as she says, and then it turns into something else. So I am totally opposed to putting any type of business in our neighborhood. We just want to retire and have peace in our neighborhood. And we're entitled to that because we work hard to pay for it. No, we're not in a fancy neighborhood, but that doesn't mean you could come here and bring riffraff through our neighborhood. We are fed up with the renters not keeping their houses up. We are fed up with the riffraff. We have just had enough. And so I'm opposed to it. I fall back.
Thank you for your comment. Are there anyone else that's speaking opposition for this petition? And also too, if you have the comment card, please leave the comment card on the podium once you come up.
Good evening. My name is Richard Hare. I am one of the
Sir, and state your address.
6465 East Briar Drive. I am one of the residents whose home did get shot up. I have one question. Is this gonna impose any more taxes, any more property taxes on our neighborhood? I mean, all she said was that she represents the wellness. She didn't say anything about any kind of planning or what is it gonna do to the neighborhood? Is it gonna be a residential neighborhood, or is it gonna be a business neighborhood? Or is it gonna be a combination of both?
Oh, this time just for the comments. We are not able to answer any questions. It's just
I
for your
know.
comments.
I know. Okay, but that is my comment. I mean, is this gonna be the door that's gonna open up for more businesses coming in here? So is the neighborhood gonna be half resident, half business, half rental? I mean, there's a lot of options there. So I am one of the people who are looking forward to retiring. And I don't want to pay any more property taxes. I don't want to worry about my house getting shot up. I don't have to worry about people riding through the neighborhood late at night. I'm not saying that this young lady's gonna have that, but it is the beginning of something. And that's all I have to say.
All righty, thank you for your comment. Are there any other individuals out here that would like to speak in opposition? All right, so with that being stated, I will close the public hearing and go into discussion. So first thing is that this applicant is aware that she is not able to bring any clients to the home. Because this is considered a type 1 home occupation, and type 1 home occupation does not allow clients or customers to come into the dwelling. The business owner will have to go to the client's dwelling or meet somewhere that's not their residence. So when it comes to concerns with people coming into the neighborhood to visit this business, again, the regulation, the code speaks to that, and the applicant is aware that they are not allowed to bring any clients to the home. If they are bringing clients to the home, and then you as a resident can get in contact with code enforcement, and code enforcement will handle them at that time. But the applicant is aware that they are not able to bring any clients to the home. Come on up, Mel. Yeah.
I'm a business owner. I rent in a commercial area. That's what she needs to do.
Thank you for your comment. All right, so with that being stated, give me 1 second. All right, so with that being stated, we have rendered a decision for this applicant. And staff decision is to approve this petition with conditions. And the 2 conditions are as follows. Applicant must comply and remain in compliance with supplemental regulations in section 4.2.31, home occupation and private educational use. And the second condition No city permit for the operation of a home occupation shall be transferable, will be only permitted for the owner slash operator, which is Anika Kelly. So Ms. Kelly, staff will, within the next 48 hours, we will provide you with a decision letter that states the conditions. And also you can provide that decision letter to the business license to start that process for your business license. All righty, thank you. No. Unfortunately, the public comments portion is over for this petition. But if you have a question for staff, we can most definitely answer that at the end of this meeting. All right, so the next petition on the agenda is SA 23-031. The address is 6690 Villa Court. The applicant Terrence Hollis of World of Love LLC. The applicant is seeking a special administrative permit to use office space in a home to operate their home care business as a type 1 home occupation. Here that's being presented on the screen is the letter of intent that was submitted by the applicant. Here is the future land use, or some may know it as character area within the comprehensive plan. And the star marks the spots. And as stated on the screen, the character area is an acronym as the UN, which is urban neighborhood. The zoning for this particular property is RSM, which is the acronym for small lot residential mix. The property is within the overlay district, and the overlay district is Stonecrest Tier 4. Here is the submitted floor layout that was submitted by the applicant. Sure thing. And here in section 4.2.31, home occupations and private educational uses, as stated previously, this is the supplement regulations that the applicant must abide by, and they are aware of these regulations. So with that being stated, I will open the public hearing for this petition. Is the applicant, Mr. Terrence Hollis, here? Come on up and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Terrence Hollis. My address is 6690 Villa Court, Lithonia, Georgia, 303, well, not 303, 30038.
All right. Is there anything that you would like to add that staff did not go over?
That's it. No caregivers, no patients, no one but me will be on the premises at all times. It will be housing patient documents along with the caregivers' documents only. That's it.
Okay, true. Thank you so much, Mr. Hollis. Are there any individuals that would like to speak for this petition? Please come on up to the podium if you would like to speak for this petition. All right, seeing or hearing none, are there any individual like to speak in opposition for this petition? Come on up to the podium. And you can leave your public comment card on the podium.
My name is Sheila Chalmers. My residence is 6694 Villa Court in Stonecrest, Georgia. My opposition to this proposed business is our bylaws and our covenants prohibit operating a business within our community. And then to allow this is in direct violation of our covenants and our bylaws. The other issue I have is he said it was going to be storing patient documents. And I believe under HIPAA regulations, there are certain specifications that you have to put in place in order to store patient information. It's just not kept in a master bedroom at a private residence. The third question I have is, does Mr. Hollis live on this premise or is he renting it out to someone? So those are my concerns and my questions. Thank you.
Thank you for the comment. Are there any other individuals that would like to speak in opposition? Come on up to the podium, ma'am.
My name is Shara Bell. I live at 6697 Villa Court, right across the street from Mr. Hollis. I'm kind of new to the community, and the community is a residential area. It is kind of quiet. It's a quiet, well-kept residential area. So I know that you keep saying that no clients will be available to come to the home and all of that, but I guess my question is, what prevents it from happening? And then I heard you say in the last case that if indeed that does happen, that you contact Code of Conduct, but I mean, not Code of Conduct, I'm a school teacher, I'm sorry. Code Enforcement, yes, Code Enforcement, but I've dealt with Code Enforcement before, and that is a lengthy process. So I just want to know what prevents him from, Mr. Hollis, not him, Mr. Hollis from maybe one day having clients come to his home. Like, I don't welcome the traffic and everything that comes with it. Like, our parking is already limited. So people parking on the curb, blocking driveways, throwing trash out. Like, those are things that I foresee happening if it starts to look like a business. And I'm opposed to that. I moved over there because of the upkeep and the quietness of the community, and I would like for it to stay like that. And as she said, I'm almost positive that our HOA bylaws oppose businesses being in our community.
All right, thank you for your comment. Are there any other individuals like to speak in opposition? How much time?
My name is Doris Gervasi, and I reside at 2945 Stonecrest Lane. I've been an owner there for over 20 years. We do have a declaration of covenants and restrictions for our community. We have 82 homes. They're well kept, and it's very quiet over there. Parking is limited. And I know that he's saying that he will be the only one there, but he has a wife, I believe, and a daughter. And if you're going to keep records, you just can't keep records like the previous owner stated, in a home in a bedroom. So my thing is, what you all say, that once you did the first one, that you granted permission, but people have a way of changing, and they think that they can get away with whatever they want to do. And I would assume that he didn't go through the board for approval. He just came straight over to you all to get approval, not going by the covenant rules and the bylaws. So right there, that's telling me that he does not intend to abide by rules. He's going to make his own rules. And I am opposed to having a business there. Like I say, I've been there over 20 years, and it's not a place for a business. And if it's a business, then how is it going to be zoned if it's zoned residential? That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Are there any other individuals that want to speak in opposition? All right, Mr. Hollis, you have You have 8 minutes to speak upon the comments that you heard.
So the documents will be kept locked in the cabinet. So far as the way they will be kept, it would be doors that if anyone want to get into, come in to get the documents or whatever, they would have to go through so many safety features to get to it. It won't even be possible. What else? Taking notes. Okay, as far as with the HOA, I contacted them today because I had just got in from out of town. So I did get a letter from them and I would get that situated, but I was still gonna come today to still show my face and, arrest my case for having a business in the community, and I respect everyone's opinion. I didn't realize that it was so many people that didn't want a business, but it won't be any traffic, no boards, no signs, no other cars except mine and my wife. I do have a daughter. What else? So much said. What else?
If you can't remember this, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I just wanna address everything because I know some of the people in here, not necessarily, but I just want to answer their questions because I don't really conversate with nobody. I'm new to the neighborhood too. But I want to create something that's generational, and it's a try. It's a try, and I don't know what else to say.
You good. All righty. Truly appreciate you, Mr. Hollis. I do have the city attorney online. You are good to go, city attorney.
Good evening to the city of Stonecrest and to the residents of the special administrative permit public hearing this evening. I was just going to make a comment about the balance between HOA rules and local law. HOA rules, since the local law is, of course, the governing law of the city of Stonecrest, they would supersede HOA rules. So HOA rules typically, even though, of course, in many instances would be upheld if, carried to court on a particular matter, they cannot be more restrictive than the local law. So if the local law allows for a particular thing that item can be moved forward under and is governed by the local law, and not so much as the HOA rules. If the HOA rules were less restrictive but still allowed in a way for the issue or the matter, then it could stand in that respect as well. So I just want to make that comment because I know there was some discrepancy about HOA rules versus local law.
Truly appreciate you, Attorney Thompson, and Mr. Hollis. Truly appreciate you.
Thank you.
Now this will conclude the public hearing. We will close the public hearing and go into discussion. All right, so with that being stated, staff, do you guys have any questions for the applicant, Mr. Hollis? All right, so with that being stated, unfortunately, if you guys have a question, well, if it's a comment, then we have closed the public hearing, so we can't. Right, well, that's the procedure for the meeting. If you guys have a comment, then most definitely can hear the comment, but at the end of this meeting. All right. So, Mr. Hollis, with that being stated, staff have the decision to make for you, and we have made a decision to approve your application with 2 conditions. The first condition is applicant must remain in compliance with the supplemental regulations in section 4.2.31 entitled Home Occupations and Private Educational Uses. And the second condition is no city permit for the operation of the home occupation shall be transferable, will only be permitted for the owner slash operator, which is you, Mr. Terrence Hollis. Within 48 hours, staff will email you over a decision letter. You will take the decision letter to the business license team, and they will start their business license process for you.
All right, thank you.
All right, you have a good one. All right, so we're moving into our next petition for tonight, which is SA 23-034. The address is 3248 Palm Tree Drive. The applicant Andrew Dunn of Vincent Home Improvement LLC. The applicant is seeking a special administrative permit to use office space in a home to operate their mobile air conditioning and heating unit repair business as a type 1 home occupation. Here is the letter of intent that was submitted by the applicant. Here is the future land use designation, or some may know it as character area within the comprehensive plan as SN, which is an acronym for suburban neighborhood. And the star marks the location. Here is the zoning map for the location, which is RSM, which is an acronym for small lot residential mix, and the star marks the location. Here is the submitted floor layout by the applicant. Here, as previously stated, here in section 4.2.31, entitled Home Occupation and Private Educational Uses, these are the supplemental regulations that the applicant must abide by, and they are aware of these regulations. So with that being stated, I will open the public hearing portion for this application. Is Mr. Andrew Dunn is here tonight? Mr. Andrew Dunn, are you here tonight? All right, so because the applicant is not here tonight, we'll have to defer this item to the next meeting, which is scheduled for October 17th. All right, so we'll move right along to the next petition, which is SA 23-035. The address is 3457 Lionsgate Court. The applicant, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced this, but Cordero Pelger of Track X Transformations Sciences LLC. The applicant is seeking a special administrative permit to use office space in a home to operate their management consulting business as a type 1 home occupation. Here is the letter of intent that was submitted by the applicant. Here is the future land use designation, or some may know as character area within the comprehensive plan. And the star marks the spot, and the character area is an acronym for SN, which is suburban neighborhood. Here is the zoning for the location, which is R100, which is an acronym for residential medium lots. Here is the submitted floor layout. And I will zoom in. Here in section 4.2.31, entitled Home Occupation and Private Educational Uses, these are the regulations that the applicant must abide by. And as stated previously, the applicant is aware of these regulations. So with that being stated, I will open the public hearing for this application. Is Mr. Pegler here? Come on, Mr. Pegler. Please state your first and last name and your address for the record.
Yes, my name is Correggio Pegler, 3457 Lionsgate Court.
All right, Mr. Pegler, is there anything that staff did not go over that you would like to state for the record?
Sure. Thank you for consideration of my application. The business will be a management consulting business, really with no discernible impact to community. For the past 3 years or so, I've been working from home due to COVID. Those same types of activities would take place. In that case, I was an employee. I'm retired now and will be working as a business doing management consulting. So an information knowledge-based business where all client contact happens at my client location and or via Zoom or Teams.
Okay. All right, are there any individuals that would like to speak for this application? All right, any individual like to speak in opposition for this application? Anyone that would like to speak in opposition for this application? All right, hearing and seeing none, we will close the public hearing and go into a discussion. Staff, do you guys have any questions for the applicant? All right, with that being stated, staff has made a decision for your application, and it is approval with 2 conditions. The first condition, applicant must comply and remain in compliance with supplemental regulation in section 4.2.31 entitled Home Occupations and Private Educational Uses. And condition number 2, no city permit for the operation of the home occupation shall be transferable, with only being permitted to the owner/operator, Mr. Pegler. All right, within 48 hours, you will receive a decision letter from planning and zoning staff. You would take the decision letter to the business license team, and they will start that process. All righty, you have a good one. All right, and the last petition for today's agenda is SA 23-036. The location is 3201 Garden Glade Lane. The applicant, Miss Olivia Dixon of JMS 360 Photo Booths LLC. The applicant is seeking a special administrative permit to use office space in a home to operate their photo booth rental business as a type 1 home occupation. Here is the letter of intent that was submitted by the applicant. And for those that are at home, this PowerPoint will be uploaded to the city's website as well. Here is the future land use designation, or some may know it as character area within the comprehensive plan for the city of Stonecrest. the Star Marshall location, and it is a future land use designation as RC, which is an acronym for Regional Center. The zoning map here is zoned for MR1, which is an acronym for Medium Density Residential. It does reside in the overlay district, which is Stonecrest Tier 2. Here is the submitted floor plan that was submitted by the applicant. He has previously stated in section 4.2.31 entitled Home Occupations and Private Educational Uses. These are the supplemental regulations that the applicant must abide by, and the applicant is aware of all of these regulations. So with that being stated, we will open this public hearing for this application. Ms. Dixon, come. And just state your first and last name and your address for the record.
My name is Olivia Dixon.
And speaking to Mike.
My name is Olivia Dixon. My address is 3201 Garden Glade Lane, Stonecrest, Georgia, 30038.
Thank you so much, Ms. Dixon. Do you have anything to add that staff did not state?
Yeah, I just want to state that there will be no actual business done in my home. I take the actual photo booths to the location that the party or event is being held. So there's never actual customer at my home.
All righty, thank you for your comment. Are there anyone that would like to speak for this application? Anyone would like to speak for this application? In opposition for this application? Come on up, ma'am. And before you start,
Donald Wright, Spivey.
and speaking to Mike, lower it down a little bit.
Donald Wright, Spivey, and I'm at 3265 Garden Glade.
Okay.
And I know the petitioner stated that there will be no traffic coming to pick up items she would be delivering, but what type of storage?
Ms. Dixon, let's do this. Let you ask all your questions, and then we'll bring Ms. Dixon back up to answer those questions. So if you can just state all your questions, and then Ms. Dixon make note of it.
Yes, my concern was storage, and if it's going to be a lot of the booths, you know, in plain sight, because we are HOA community, and also my main concern was the traffic and parking. You know, we have a parking concern here, but just wanted to make sure that there was no traffic. The business would be just a point of her just using it for her paperwork purposes and to store her booths, but not for people to come and pick up in traffic and trucks coming in and out of the community.
All righty, thank you for your comment. Ms. Dixon, you have, all right, you have 9 minutes for rebuttal. So this is the time to answer those questions.
So I am a homeowner out there as well, so I know all about HOA, and there's actually nothing that can be visible outside of the apartment, so outside of the home. So that was never a plan to have any photo booths visible. We can't even have the trash cans visible. So they're in my garage, and they're a size where I could put 50 of them in there if I wanted to in my garage. They're small. And they are to be taken to the events. I have to operate them. So that means that I'm bringing them to the event. If That means the event would have to be held at my house if they're using it at my house, and that's not the plan.
Okay, thank you so much for your comment. We will now close the public hearing and go into discussion. Staff, you have a question for the applicant?
Ms. Dixon, just to make sure, these are not the box photo booths, right?
No, ma'am,
The
they're like,
ones
you can
that
break them
stand.
down, they go into, you want a picture?
Yeah, we good.
Okay.
Just clarify, it's not the box.
No.
I do have a question. What's the scale about how many booths do you rent per day or per week or per month? Volume.
I actually only have 2 booths right now. I have a photo booth and a spin booth, so maybe 1 or 2 events I do a month so far.
And I'd like to make a comment regarding the traffic flow and things of that sort. So for all of these petitions tonight, they are considered type 1 home occupation, meaning that the applicant is not allowed to bring any clients to the home. And all of the applicants that was here tonight, they are aware of that as well. It's a different process if they would like to bring clients to the home. But for this particular application that's coming to tonight, they are aware, every applicant is aware that they are not allowed to bring any clients to the home. If they do bring it to the home, and then that's when, again, the citizens can contact code enforcement. Code enforcement go out there, check out the property, provide a citation if see fitted, and then they go through the court process. But I just want to make everyone clear that all of the type 1 home occupations that was heard tonight, so they are not allowed to have any clients or customers at their home. So there should be no increase in traffic flow. So with that being stated, Ms. Dixon, staff have made a decision for your application, and we recommend approval with 2 conditions. And the 2 conditions read: the first condition, applicant must comply and remain in compliance with supplemental regulation in section 4.2.31 entitled Home Occupation and Private Educational Uses. And condition 2, no city permit for the operation of the home occupation shall be transferable, will only be permitted for the home with the owner and operator, which is you, Ms. Olivia Dixon. Within 48 hours, you will receive a decision letter from Planning and Zoning via the portal and your email. You will take that decision letter to the business license team, and that will start that process for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
All right, you as well. All right, so with that being stated, that concludes our meeting for tonight. As stated, if you have any questions, staff is available at the end of this meeting to answer your questions. For those that do not, please drive safely home, and always remember, it is a great day here at City of Stonecrest. Y'all have a good one. Good night.